Night had fallen over the Dutch countryside and 5 German Tiger tanks were rumbling south along a narrow dyke road. Ahead of them, a column of British infantry in lorries and Bren carriers was moving up the road, unaware of the danger closing in. What happened next would become one of the most audacious small unit actions of Operation Market Garden. The Gamble of Market Garden. Operation Market Garden was a daring Allied gamble launched in mid-September 1944. Airborne divisions would seize a chain of bridges deep in the Netherlands, while 30 Corps made a lightning thrust up a single highway from the Belgian border to the Lower Rhine at Arnhem. The plan assumed 30 Corps could cover almost 100 kilometres in about 48 hours, an extraordinarily ambitious timetable and one many believed was unrealistic. Even before the operation began, Lieutenant General Frederick Boy Browning, Deputy Commander of the 1st Allied Airborne Army, infamously warned Field Marshal Montgomery, "I think we may be going a bridge too far."
Well, as you know, I've always thought that we tried to go a bridge too far.
The airborne troops were lightly armed, of course, and never meant to hold out for long. Yet they were being asked to stand firm against nearby German SS Panzer units until the ground forces broke through. The road to Arnhem stalls. For a time the plan worked, but after the Nijmegen Bridge fell on 20 September, Guards armoured divisions advanced towards Arnhem stalled, ambushed by elements of the 9th and 10th SS Panzer Divisions on the exposed Dyke Road. Several Irish Guards Shermans were knocked out, blocking the narrow route and halting the push. To restore momentum, 43rd Wessex Infantry Division was brought forward to take over the spearhead from the Guards. By now, the British 1st Airborne Division was trapped in a shrinking pocket at s.Pz.Abt. South of the Rhine, the Polish 1st Parachute Brigade had landed near Driel to reinforce them, but the river cut them off and German forces blocked every approach. The 5th Battalion, Duke of Cornwall's Light Infantry, part of 43rd Wessex Division, was ordered to fight through to Driel. If they could link up with the Poles, they might yet ferry men and supplies across the Rhine and buy time for the beleaguered 1st Airborne. A daring evening advance. At 1700 hours on 22 September 1944, 5 DCLI set off from the Oosterhout bridgehead on the north bank of the Waal on a rapid advance to Driel. It was a hazardous undertaking. An urgent dash in the evening through enemy-held territory, along Dutch roads prone to ambush and constantly alert to German patrols, armour and mines. By about 1900 hours, part of the battalion's column was pushing northeast from Valberg toward the crossroads outside the town of Elst, advancing as fast and quietly as possible. Into the path of the Tigers. Near the crossroads at De Hoop, Company Sergeant Major Reginald Philp of A Company was riding at the head of the column in a Bren carrier. Earlier that day, Philp had been wounded in the face by enemy artillery fire, but he was determined to continue the advance. Suddenly, 5 hulking shapes emerged on the road ahead. Believing them at first to be friendly, Philp drove closer, only to see black crosses painted on their hulls. They were German Tiger tanks moving south directly into the path of the battalion. Reacting instantly, Philp rose in his carrier and raked the lead tank with a burst from the carrier's light machine gun, cutting down its commander, who slumped back into the turret. The Tiger replied with machine gun fire. Somehow none of Philp's men were hit. They abandoned the carrier, scrambled into the roadside ditches, and ran back through the darkness to warn the rest of the battalion. Shaken by the sudden loss of their lead tank commander, the Tigers appear to have paused near the crossroads, a brief lull that would buy the British just enough time to prepare an ambush further down the road. Philp's courage that night, from his first clash with the tanks to the ambush that followed, would later earn him the Distinguished Conduct Medal. Springing the ambush. Warned that enemy tanks were closing in, Major Harry Parker, commanding A Company, swiftly gathered a platoon of infantry. With Company Sergeant Major Philp at his side, he set a hasty ambush. Mines were laid across the Valberg-Elst road while men slipped into ditches and hedgerows, PIAT launchers ready in their hands. Soon, a German motorcycle and sidecar drove into the trap and hit a mine. Moments later, the tanks themselves appeared, lighting their path with very flares. As the lead Tiger reached the minefield, Parker gave the signal. A deafening volley of PIAT rounds smashed into the tank just as a mine exploded beneath it. The first Tiger was knocked out instantly. The second tank rumbled forward and struck another mine. It too was destroyed by a concentrated volley of PIAT fire. The third tried to reverse, only to be caught by yet another mine laid behind it by one of Parker's men. A British soldier ran forward and fired his PIAT at point-blank range, crippling the vehicle. In the chaos, the final two tanks tried to escape but slid off the road into the ditches. Parker's men crept forward and dropped hand grenades into their turrets, silencing them. The road to Driel opens. In less than 10 minutes, a lightly armed British infantry platoon had destroyed or disabled an entire column of German heavy tanks. Some accounts said they were all Tigers. Later analysis shows the tanks likely belonged to an independent Tiger battalion, probably 3rd Company of s.Pz.Abt. 506, attached at the time to the 9th SS Panzer Division, Hohenstaufen, and suggests at least 3 were Tigers, with the others possibly different models, maybe Panthers. Whatever their exact type, the road was now clear. The main body of 5 DCLI surged forward and successfully reached Driel that night, linking up with the Polish paratroopers. This created a corridor through which, unfortunately, only limited supplies and reinforcements could reach the northern bank of the Rhine, insufficient to change the outcome. Under heavy German fire, just over 2,000 of the remaining British airborne troops at s.Pz.Abt were evacuated, while the remainder became casualties or were taken prisoner. Legacy. Company Sergeant Major Reginald Philp received the Distinguished Conduct Medal for his part in the action, and others in Parker's platoon were also decorated, with several being mentioned in dispatches. The ambush on the road to Driel stands as one of the most remarkable small unit actions of Operation Market Garden, an example of courage, quick thinking and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this look at the courageous men of the Duke of Cornwall's light infantry during Operation Market Garden, please consider subscribing for more remarkable moments in history. Hope to see you again in the next one.